Well guys, today we're installing some rough country wheel liners for the Silverado. Not only that, we graphene coated one side just to see if it helps out in this crazy weather. By the way, how the heck are we in Texas? What is going on? Welcome back to Paradise, guys. We're on today with the 2020 Trail Boss. We have rough country wheel liners going in the rear of the truck today. When we bought the Trail Boss, it's an LT Trail Boss, so it's relatively optioned out. But one option we did not get with this truck was that bed protection package. I didn't really mind because I knew I wanted to do this rough country bed cover. And if I eventually do want that spray and bed liner, I can in fact do it myself. But one other thing on the bed protection package we did not get was the wheel liners. When you take a side view of this, it just does not look good. So what we have here today are the rough country wheel liners for the 2019 to 2021 Silverados. But in addition to installing these today, there's one other thing I wanted to try out. Because if you reverse back a few months ago, we did a full graphene coating on this truck. It's a phenomenal coating. It aids in the cleaning process, keeps water, dirt, grime from clinging on to the paint. But that graphene coating can also be used for plastic trim and other things like that. So I'm gonna do a full graphene coating on the inside of my wheel liners, but I'm just gonna do one to test it out. So the driver's side is gonna get a full graphene coating. The passenger side will be just bare plastic. And by the end of the week, we're gonna be able to determine if that graphene coating does anything on plastic, because I don't know if you can see outside over my shoulder, we're having a heck of a snowstorm.
The entire state for the first time in weather history.
The first time in my adult life to see that in Texas. So what this is just alcohol. What I'm doing is just cleaning off this plastic before I put the graphene coat on there. We're gonna go ahead and get our graphene coating, get it onto our applicator pad, and then coat the inside of this. While that's curing, we're gonna grab that one and install it on the passenger side. Now what's fun about this is because it's going up underneath the truck, I don't really have to be meticulous with it. This is after doing the entire truck. You can see how much is left in there. So that's one entire truck coated. So we have quite a bit extra, so I'm gonna use it here. All right, so if you look here at the top, you'll see a DS. That is the driver's side. And if you can take any guess which one is coated with a graphene ceramic, the question is this stuff gonna do anything to protect it from clinging dirt, grime? So we're gonna let this sit for about another minute. I'm gonna go back and buff it off with this rag. We'll get the passenger side installed and we'll be back to the driver's side. Now the install should be super simple, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean out the inside of the wheel well. That way, at least underneath the plastic is clean. Gonna shove it in there and then press 7 of these pins to keep it in place. But let's see if we can do this without scratching the paint. Wow, that fits really nicely. All right. It's super obvious which 7 holes need these guys. All right, got our 7 pins ready to go. This probably does need a little more time to cure and bond to the plastic just because it is so cold out, but we're not gonna give it enough time. We're just gonna put it on and go. All right, driver's side is in. We are set and almost ready to go. I wanted to give you a quick look at the fit. They fit good, not great. Obviously with the plastic aftermarket bed liners, there are chances these can warp and get bent during shipping. For some reason, the bottom lip here is completely bent inward, so it's like pressing in. I'm hoping over time that bends back out. If not, I'll get my heat gun and just reshape it a little bit. On the back side, it fits really nicely up in here, but at the very bottom, there is still a gap right there in which a bunch of dirt, rocks, and crap will get stuck up in there, and we'll have to clean it from the inside. It's not too bad, but everything else looks pretty good, especially this side that's graphene coated. It's got a nice glossy sheen to it, so That's gonna look really good. Hopefully that's cure enough to go, because we are now gonna hop in the truck and head out into this frozen tundra, also known as Texas. We got some crazy, crazy weather going on, but we're gonna have some fun in it. So, without further ado, let's get the family loaded up and let's hit the road. Woo, it's cold. Oh, jeez. What in the world? How are we in Texas, guys? What is going on? The reason I came out here, I want to get this on video. This little dust running across the street. What in the world is this? That's the first time this truck has ever seen snow, and to be honest, I am more in love with this truck right now than I've ever been before. This truck is an absolute beast. Looking back at these wheel liners here, those suckers are spotless. Well, that's gonna do it for test number 1. Went pretty well. Those are still completely spotless. Test number 2 is gonna be a little more interesting, because when all this snow does eventually melt, what's gonna happen is the road's gonna be super nasty. It's gonna get flicked up all through the wheel wells and all other fun stuff. So that'll be test number 2, but that's coming here in a few days. And we'll see you then. Good evening, guys. It's been a little while. It's been a few seconds for you, but for me, it's been like 3 weeks. Now, fortunately, there's no more snow on the ground. It was actually kind of funny. It was sub-zero temperatures, and then literally 1 week later, back to normal, good old 60, 65 degrees, because it's Texas. Now, the real thing is, the truck hasn't been bathed in over 3 weeks, and the wheel liners are a complete mess. We have, first, the passenger side, which, as you can clearly see, looks like a normal wheel liner. And then the driver's side, which you remember, is graphene coated with Adams Polish's graphene coating, is just as dirty. There's no visual difference when it is coated. The question is, how easy is this to clean? And it's my hope I can just blast those wheel liners and they'll be clean. But we're gonna find out here in a second, because the truck's coming out. It's time for a bath. All right, new Adams Polisher high pressure washing system. Metric. Just blast that one section. Wow, that is so glossy. Keep forgetting how glossy that graphene coat is. Let's see. Wow. There's nothing there. That is super slick. So I blast the entire side. There's no dirt, but you can tell it's not. Doesn't feel the same. But in all reality, we're talking about graphene coating an undercarriage. And the only reason we did this is just make it simpler to clean. So when I'm doing this, I don't have to scrub it. I just simply blast it and move on. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna speed this up quite a bit. All right, guys, truck is nice and clean now. We are back here in the morning to take a look at these wheel liners. The purpose behind graphene coating this was to see if I can keep dirt from clinging onto the inner wheel well, and the cleaning process being really easy to do. And what I got was somewhat of that. Most of this did come off pretty well without sticking, but also I get a glossy kind of sheen here, which I didn't expect. That actually looks really good on the inner wheel. And aesthetically, these wheel liners are nice because they do cover the gap between the frame and the bed to make it really a clean look. It is not the same material as the front wheel liners. That is a disclaimer. That's a more of a felt, high quality looking and feeling part, where this is just straight up plastic, but it looks really good. Looking here on the passenger side, again, this one was not graphene coated. In a comparison, there is the dirt still clung on the inside of the wheel well. So the graphene coating does actually somewhat work. If you're gonna blast these things off, it's a nice touch, but also look how matte that looks versus the other side. So if you want a glossy kind of inner fender well, that is an option. Now, we'll say I'm happy with these. You know, if I had to do it again, I would. I wish they would have done kind of the felt material as the same on the front. But at the end of the day, I'm saving a tremendous amount of money by not purchasing the bed protection package, which that is one element of it. And to be honest, I actually did look at GM and I couldn't find this part for the rear. So we did go with Rough Country, happy with it. Rough Country is not paying me to do this. I'm just letting you guys know an option of what you can do for your truck if you want to cover those things up. The truck is looking mighty fine this morning because for the first time in over a year, we're going to a Cars and Coffee this morning. Wife's gonna take the Big Z's and I'm taking black tie. It's gonna be an absolute blast. So we are getting out of here. We will catch you guys in the next video. I'll put a link in the description below for the Rough Country wheel liners. You can follow me on Instagram, get regular updates there. Now on TikTok as well. But thank you guys again for tuning in for today's video. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, shoots.